Good morning and happy Wednesday morning. This is day 6 with no power, but I'm not going to stop. We have a lot to cover. We're including the WellChild Awards and some updates. So let's jump in and cover it, shall we? Let's go. I am starting off with some of your comments. Thank you to Gibbers King, who gave me the Princess Anne Award for keeping calm and carrying on. God knows I'm trying. Now, as for Harry stopping at the tattoo parlor, Nancy DVI said he thinks that he got a tattoo of his mother. And Guild also said the tattoo probably said, "I love Nacho." Now, somebody else pointed out that he was only in there for an hour. So maybe he didn't get a tattoo. Maybe he got a piercing. And Richard thinks it's a nipple piercing. All right, let's move on. One more thing. These are the pictures that were taken outside my back door this morning. I am aware of how lucky my husband and I are considering the state of everything around us. I can live without power. I think it's wonderful the way all the neighbors have come together to make sure everybody's got water and food, and hopefully we'll be able to pull everything together really soon. All right, let's move on. So I wanted to talk about this really quickly. Apparently, while Prince Harry was on his second day in New York, one of his entourage was spotted wearing a pin. Now, this has stirred up a bit of a fuss because it was very obviously a royal cipher. Why is one of the Archwell staff wearing a royal cipher pin? Harry was not there representing the United States. He was not there representing the UK. He's not an ambassador. He's nobody. So why does he have somebody wearing this pin? To me, this looks like Harry trying to be an American royal, because the only people that usually wear pins are ambassadors, and, people from other countries will wear a pin with their country on it. Their flag. I mean, Harry isn't able to influence anything, so I'm not sure what this is, but I just wanted to touch on it. All right, let's move on. Really quickly, a blind item came out. Apparently, Meghan expected Harry to talk her up during all of these different events while he was in New York, and he didn't. Why would he? And she's not happy. All right, let's move on. All right, before we move on, I wanted to touch on this article because I thought it was just so prophetic. We just talked the other day about Uvalde, and they're talking about how on September 1st of 2020, remember those pictures popped up of Harry and Meghan planting those seeds at the preschool in Los Angeles to mark the anniversary of the death of Princess Diana? Remember, there was a lot of controversy when this happened because it was the height of COVID. And while they're hiding their children, they put full facial pictures of other people's children all over the place. And these children's parents couldn't even enter the school to give their kids a pencil. But yet Harry and Meghan were allowed in for a photo op. So this did not sit well with people. So the article points out that Meghan then flew to Uvalde in a personal capacity, and it might have been easier to swallow, the article says, if she hadn't chosen to offer her condolences smack in the middle of all the photographers and cameras, because, of course, her presence immediately ricocheted around social media and news outlets. Let's be honest, this trip looked like an attempt to co-opt tragedy for her own PR gain. And what they're asking in this article is, what did Meghan think would happen when she rolled up in Texas? Neither the president, the first lady, other A-listers, Matthew McConaughey, who grew up there, the governor, they all stayed away. And there were so many other ways she could have supported the community, which didn't necessitate her becoming, star of the show. Why didn't she make a donation to a charity or an organization that was working on gun reform? People are talking about the fact that she had TV cameras and photographers following her. Were we going to see this footage later on in one of her Netflix docuseries? That's what everybody was asking at the time. And what people really want to know is, why didn't she show up the week before that when 10 people were shot down in what authorities absolutely said was a racially motivated massacre in a supermarket in Buffalo, New York? Where was she then? She's always going on about racial equality and racism and the things that happened to her. Why didn't she show up anywhere after this shooting? That community was completely devastated from the shootings. Lots of big name people came out then. And they also had set up a memorial just like the one in Uvalde. She could have gone and walked back and forth in front of that one, but she didn't. According to this article, there were 26 school shootings in the year prior to this event at Uvalde, and Harry and Meghan said nothing. Now, people are already, comparing her to what happened with Catherine when Catherine was seen in March of 2021. So what was going on then was there was a young woman named Sarah Everard, and she was abducted very close to the palace, like really close. And Catherine was spotted in the crowd. But this is different because the pictures of Catherine were taken by somebody with a cell phone in the crowd at the memorial. She was not there trying to court attention. She went, she laid flowers, and she walked away. So on face value, it's not even the same thing. Catherine did not want to court attention. And by the way, there's another video, which I now cannot find. As she's walking away, somebody tries to talk to her and she just says, thank you. And she keeps walking. She didn't want to talk to anybody. She was lost in her own thoughts and grief. Now, later on, there were pictures popping up of Meghan at the food bank where she brought some chips. She could have had food and water delivered without ever going near the press. How about in August of 2020, when they volunteered at Baby to Baby in Los Angeles, where they didn't help get the supplies, they didn't help pack the supplies, they didn't help collect the supplies, but they showed up to hand out the back to school supplies, and they brought their own professional photographer with them to catch them helping out because, they have to look philanthropic. And Meghan was merching the mask she was wearing. And then in November of that same year, after they were told no, that Harry couldn't lay a personal wreath, they decided to do their own DIY Remembrance Day service. And they laid flowers on 2 Commonwealth war graves in Los Angeles. And of course, they took a professional photographer with them to take, pictures after they trampled all over American graves and they shut the whole cemetery down. And this was done days before. So essentially what's being said is charity begins at home. And in the Uvalde instance, it might have been better if charity had stayed home. You guys get exactly what this says. All right, let's move on now to the WellChild Award. All right, Harry arrived in the UK in London for the WellChild Awards, and they were held in a secret location because, Harry's that paranoid. We found out later on that it was held at the Royal Lancaster Hotel near Hyde Park. He arrived there ahead of the main event because there was a reception there to meet the category winners and their families before the awards ceremony took place. You guys, I'm not trying to be smart when I say this because this award celebrates the inspiring qualities of some of the most seriously ill children and a dedication of those that keep them healthy and happy. And I think it's fabulous that they're recognized. But I have questions about a charity that keeps a patron just because he's the son of the king, even though they know that he's got a drug issue and he advocates the use of drugs. I mean, what's to keep Harry from sitting down going, do you know that I use psychedelics? Ooh, I mean, these are children that are being told to stay away from drugs, and here comes Harry. So Harry went into the back and was going around meeting all the ill children, and there was one child that had a picture, and it was from 2019, and he was like, is that the same one? No way. He does seem to care about these children, which is why I'm guessing he's kept the patronage. But as I said, I have a question with anybody that keeps a known drug user. Now, this little girl above, Scarlet Cripp, she's 10. She got the Inspirational Award, apparently gave Harry 4 glass hearts, one for him, one for Meghan, and one for each of the children. I hope the kids get the gifts. Now, you see the headline above, will he see William? Okay, well, first of all, we know he won't see Charles because Charles is in Scotland. And when Charles comes back to London, because he has an event, apparently it's being reported this coming Wednesday, Harry will already be gone. And William has no interest in seeing Harry, none whatsoever. So, no, I don't think Harry's going to see anybody from his family. Not because he doesn't have time, but because the family refuses to see him. Now, really quickly, I think Harry was tweaking. All right, here's a video. It shows this is normal speed. Watch his legs. It's like he can't stand still. He can't stop moving. In the ER, we call that tweaking. Here it is sped up super fast. Uh-huh. Anyway, remember, I told you this is a big PR push, and look what Harry's got for headlines. Prince of Hearts, stars shine for Harry. You get it? This is his push to change the narrative about himself. I honestly don't know if this is all going to help Harry at all. All right, you guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button. Go down into the description box. Leave your comments first, and then hit the link for video number 2. Let's go.